What is going on, everybody? It's Stas here. So the markets have been all over the place today. We have the Dow, the NASDAQ, the Russell 2000, the S&P. All of these are red, down about 0.2, 0.3% here as the market's about to close. So we have to talk about this. We have to break down some technicals, go over a bunch of stocks I'm watching now, and go over as well where my head is at as a trader, as an investor, as, let's be honest, guys, the markets are overbought at this point in time, and we'll talk about that today. So if you all find value, hit the like button, subscribe, get into the free Discord chat down below. You could also get $30 free from M1 Finance, and you can check out the Patreon to support me and the channel a bit further, and you get a bunch of perks on Patreon. All of those are linked down below. So let's get into it. At this point in time, like I said, the markets have been ridiculously volatile today. And looking right here at SPY, the S&P 500 ETF, it looks like, did we just hit an all-time high? I just realized this. We hit an all-time high just now. And you can see on the intraday chart, it's been a choppy day, up and down, up and down. And recently, it looks like Jerome Powell, and by recently, I mean the past 30 minutes to an hour, it looks like he's been cranking that money printer. This thing went from 410.50 all the way to almost 412, hitting that all-time high, made a move of 0.3% there, and now it's pulled back since then. Massive drop. Well, not really massive, but a sudden drop, let's put it that way. And now it's trying to recover into the market close in about 2 minutes. So a lot of choppiness here for SPY, and overall on the 4-hour chart, you can see how overbought it is. We covered the bearish divergence on the hourly chart. We mentioned that yesterday. You guys can see it's trucking along here, SPY, as the RSI is weakening, and we're seeing volume die down over the past couple of weeks. These are all signs that a pullback is very near. And even, despite the fact that we hit an all-time high today, and taking a look at the SPX index to see exactly where that all-time high was, it was at 4131.76. So where could we pull back? I believe the S&P could go down anywhere from 3980 to about 4,000, right around that point. And SPY, if we take a look at this one, I think this could go anywhere from 407 on the higher end of the pullback to 405, anywhere maybe from 398 to 402. These are general areas that I think overall, as we're overbought here, we're seeing the divergence, right? Early signs of a pullback maybe. These are levels I think we could end up going to. And pulling up QQQ right before the bell here, it's about to go off in 3 seconds, so stay tuned for that, guys. Here we go. Market closed, and we're down overall on the day officially here. QQQ, and I mentioned this on Patreon earlier, and I do a lot of exclusive updates there on Patreon, guys. So if you enjoy this stuff, check that out. It's linked down below. Feel free to join that. And QQQ, you can see here, it's on this 5-day, 5-minute, or on this 5-day, 5-minute. It's in this wedge, and it looks like we didn't really pick a direction here at close. We can see we closed right at the resistance of the wedge at about 336. So for tomorrow, I want to see if we break this on QQQ. If so, that could be a sign of a breakout in the very short term. Despite being overbought on the 4-hour, I feel like we could still break out. That is possible. And QQQ in general, some pullback areas I'm looking for would be anywhere from 331. That'd be healthy. 325 would be even better. At 320, I mean, that'd be even better. So, I mean, these are some levels I'm looking at, and you can see the divergence on the hourly chart as well on QQQ. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. What do you think about the markets? What are you up to? What are you buying? What are you selling? And now let's just get into some stocks here. We'll talk a little bit about what I've been doing as well, some overall thoughts on these stocks too. So number one, and call me crazy, but AMC, I'm actually interested in taking a position in AMC more as a spec play. It's not a high conviction. It's not a, oh my God, I'm going to put all my money in AMC. It's nothing like that. But I'm looking at this, okay, it's down from about the 14.15 level it was just at in the middle of March, about a month ago. It's down 40% from that point. And we all know, and we've seen the numbers, overall here in the United States, the theaters are opening up, and they're not all at full capacity, but we're getting there slowly, and internationally, they're not doing as well when it comes to theaters, so that's probably going to be a bit slower when it comes to internationally for the numbers to get back to normal, and maybe they never get back to normal, but we'll see how that goes down. But overall, fundamentally speaking, AMC is coming back slowly. It's coming back slowly but surely, and the stock, like I said, is down 40%. So the closer and closer this one gets to about $5, and I know it's at $8.60, it's far from $5, but the closer it gets, let's say $6 too, $6.50 even, right? The closer it gets to that $6.50 level, the more and more attracted, or rather intrigued I am to take a position or even consider a spec play, or as a spec play. Consider it as a spec play. So AMC, I think, ultimately could go back above $10, $12, no doubt about it. And it's tied up into the Wall Street bets community, guys. So anything is possible. And no, that is not the sole reason I'm buying AMC. Sure, maybe it plays a little bit of a role, having that excitement around the Wall Street bets community. Maybe that plays a role in buying AMC. But I really think as the theaters are opening up, fundamentals are starting to look better on this. And it's just a nice kind of a reopening play as well. So it's not just because of Wall Street bets, although that does add some excitement to it. I think overall it's a decent play. So AMC, I'm watching this one closely as of now, and PayPal is another one I'm watching. And before you guys spam the comments, PayPal's overbought. I know it's overbought, and it's close to the resistance here at 280, which we were at back in probably in the beginning of March, it looks like, right? Yep, right around 280. And yeah, I think in the short term, if we pull back anywhere near the support right here at about 255, if we get close to that point, that's going to become, the closer and closer we get there, it's going to be more and more attractive as a dip buy, right? At this point at 270, yeah, it's overbought. RSI is at 75 on the 4-hour chart. But at 255, RSI should come down a bit, a good chunk. That's going to be interesting as a dip buy with a price target anywhere from 275 to about 280. So I like PayPal, but we just need it to cool off a bit. Same exact thing with Square, guys. These have both ran up a ton, and if they pull back, I think they're attractive, right? And Tesla today, I'm not sure if you guys didn't saw this. I'm sure you guys saw this. It's Tesla, for crying out loud. Everyone watches this one. Tesla did very well despite the markets not doing so well today, like we covered earlier. Tesla went up 3.7%, up $25 per share. And as many of you guys know, this is one of my larger swing positions, if not the largest swing positions in my portfolio, right? And we're at a point of resistance right now, and I've been talking about this, and I sound like a broken record because Tesla hasn't broken out of this spot yet, but 700 to about 720, 710, that is such a sticking point considering we haven't broken out of that level for over a month at this point. So I think if 715 could break, and today we're seeing some, initial signs of this breakout, I believe Tesla's going straight to 740, followed by anywhere from 760 to about 780. So I'm in for the ride. I'm loaded up on Tesla, guys. And I recently just bought in my M1 Finance portfolio as well, which you guys should know if you keep up with the YouTube portfolio. That is in the playlist of the YouTube channel. So go check that out, the M1 Finance series. I just bought Tesla in there. And yeah, sure, it could go down. It could dump into earnings, then rally after. That's possible. But I'm here. I'm here for the ride. I'm loaded up and I'm ready to go. And Apple is another one which we nailed the call out. It was at 123. We nailed it to 127. I told you guys if it broke 127, it was likely to slowly fill the gap to 138. Not a straight shot to 138, but over time, weeks, couple months, 1-2 months, I saw it filling that gap. And I talked to someone on Patreon earlier today about Apple, and we talked about how, and I mentioned, look, I think Apple in the very short term is overbought. And since then, it did go down about 1%. So it's a good sign it's going down. And I mentioned how I feel like we could see a pullback before earnings, a mini pullback like we're seeing now, and maybe even a further pullback from this. And then I think we can rally into earnings, because if you guys didn't know, earnings for a lot of the big tech names, they're coming up. Apple is coming up here on the 28th of April, so about 2.5 weeks from now. So don't be surprised, and of course, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but don't be surprised if Apple goes to 128, kisses that level, maybe even 130, and then slowly climbs into earnings to the point where it's right before earnings, and the stock's at 135, 136, 137. I would not be surprised if that were the case, if that did end up happening. And same with Amazon. I mean, Amazon's already rallied a bunch, but if we pull back here on Amazon, 3,200, 3,250, anywhere there in that area, that could be a nice dip buy into earnings. If you want to play that, that's always an opportunity, right? And Chargepoint, CHPT, this is one that I recently bought at $20, right? That was a little bit ago, about 10 days ago, recently, right? And I've been buying this one on the dip down, and now we're dipping even further. I mean, this went down 7% today, and my most recent buy was at $20, right? I nailed the bottom. That doesn't always happen, but this recent buy, I nailed it, because once I bought it, it went all the way to $32, $33, and again, now we're back to $25. So I'm looking at Chargepoint. I'm like, okay, I might end up buying more. I mean, if it goes down to $24, even here at $25, maybe $23, I'll probably add more to this. And I actually made a video last week, I'll link it down below, about Chargepoint, going over deeper how much growth is in store for this company, and you guys will be surprised. It is a lot of growth ahead. So check that out. The Chargepoint video is linked down below. And one more stock, well, there's two more stocks here. And by the way, with Chargepoint, if it gets close to 20, watch for a bounce back, because it's already oversold at this point. So keep that in the back of your minds. And another stock here, we have AT&T, ticker symbol T. We've covered this before, and I want to give you guys a little insight on what's going on. So overall, on the yearly chart, we have the inverse head and shoulder, clear as day, right in front of us. We have the left shoulder, we have the head, the right shoulder is right here, and we're seeing overall a pullback on the 4-hour chart. You can see the stock failed at $31. Now it's at $29.90. It's down about 3-4% from that resistance. And what do you know? They just paid a dividend. And what you notice with dividend companies, and if you didn't know this, watch for this. When they pay their dividend, the stock that day typically goes down what the dividend was, or around typically that number. Not exactly, but you notice here when AT&T paid that dividend, the stock dropped that day roughly, and again, not exactly, but it dropped kind of what the dividend was. And usually what you notice is it drops the day of the dividend payment, and then usually it recovers. Not always, but this should recover, in my opinion. I think AT&T will go back over $30, $31, $32. It should start to go there, in my personal opinion. Again, it's my opinion. And that is where us as traders could jump in and make some money. And they also have earnings coming up on the 22nd. And HBO Max is a growth vector that I'm personally looking at for this company, and I actually have HBO Max and Disney and Netflix at this point, and those are my top 3 big dogs for streaming. And AT&T, HBO Max, they have a good base there with good content. So we'll see what it's looking like when it comes to those numbers for AT&T. And Procter & Gamble PG is another one I'm watching right here. I like this ascending triangle we're seeing on the hourly chart for this particular stock. We're noticing we're holding higher lows, but we're also seeing resistance at about 138, and we've been seeing that for about 2 weeks now, and we're uptrending into that resistance, hence the ascending triangle. So I believe overall, Procter & Gamble, we might, and granted, I could be wrong, but if this plays out, the ascending triangle, I think we can see a squeeze above 138, and we could fill the gap to about $141. That could be a nice 2 to about a 3% upside for this particular stock. And they also pay, or not pay a dividend. I mean, they do pay a dividend, but they also report earnings here on the 20th of April, so about 8 days from now. So those are a bunch of stocks, guys. We have AMC, PayPal, Tesla, Apple, ChargePoint, AT&T, and Procter & Gamble. That is what I'm personally watching as of right now. And sure, we could go over a bunch of other ones. Alibaba went up 9%. I mentioned this on Patreon this morning. This is a stock that was being down a bunch. It was under pressure, and they just got hit with a fine of $2.8 billion, and I feel like it was a sigh of relief. Finally, this is over. Traders, investors were anticipating what's going to happen. Now they got hit with the fine, and the stock's rallying. It's up 9%, so this could also be one worth watching, up to about 250, 255. Now, let me know some stocks you're watching. Drop a comment down below. If you all enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button, and make sure to also subscribe to the channel if you want to see further content from me. And make sure to also get yourself $30 from M1 Finance. All you have to do is use my link down below, deposit $100, and you get $30 free to invest with. You could also check out my Patreon for real-time buy and sell alerts, call-outs, morning update videos, and if you guys want more access to me throughout the day, that is on Patreon, and all of those are linked down below. And that's it. I'll catch you all in the next video. I hope you all enjoyed it. And by the way, I uploaded a video earlier about a couple overbought stocks maybe to stay away from. So I'll link that down below. I'll pop it up right here. Check it out now if you guys want to. I'll see you all there. Thanks for watching. As always, stay safe out there, guys. Keep crushing the markets. Peace out.